Live from Beaver Creek, Colorado. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of eventually delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. Boys and girls, the bulls are in town. Someone once told me that we were in a bullish trend. I forget who that was, but that person was correct. Yeah, I mean, crazy town. So as far as trades go, this was the big winner for me today. This is what I posted in Slack, and I got out way too early. But this was the futures trade. I was looking at this last night, realistically. And when I posted the trade, I think it was, I posted a trade originally up here, like 10 p.m. or so. I was like, I feel like I'm getting in too high. And it just never triggered, so it just kept going down. So once it was up there, I was like, well, let me look down here to see, just how, if I ever get in bullish at some point. And just came in. So here's, let me scroll up to the post. Again, for those of you who trade futures, just trade through Thinkorswim. That's a lot of you asking how I trade it. I mean, it's really not nothing too crazy. So this was the original post right here. I was like, hey, didn't trigger. Let me see if it can go down a little bit lower. And I was just making some posts on it. But this was the setup. So I said, woke up 30 minutes ago, starting to look interesting. So this was it, 28.18.25 by 28.12.50. So again, the good news is, I mean, very strong bullish trend. Gorgeous move. That was a 2R win. That was it could have been like a 15R trade. But got out too early. The SPY, I mean, you had just a nice high wave candle yesterday. We talked about the extreme possibility that we just continue bullish today. Nice looking trends. And, here's the 5-minute chart. Really, after the first 10 minutes of the day, there's absolutely no reason to be bearish at all. So first 10 minutes of the day, huge bullish candles come in. We recapture that resistance from this volume that came in. 10-15 minutes after, we closed above the high of this big bearish candle volume that came in right at the close of yesterday. So yeah, it was just a nice little bullish trend, good looking move, powerhouse trend. Look at this, look at these moving averages. So again, you were fully above all moving averages 20 minutes into the market. Just a really nice little dip buying opportunity there. Wherever you want to buy the dip, nice little trend on the SPY. So the newest little update, let me delete this. So if a few of you know about this collar strategy and this collar that we've been getting into, that we got into back over here in May. Sorry, it was a May covered call, and bought that covered call back, sold a 300 June covered call for those of you who have longer term shares on the SPY, and then bought back this put sale at 270. So my goal at this point is realistically for SPY, probably going to do this. And since I am traveling internationally in April, I figured I would keep the long puts just in case, just in case we get something like this, where I could sell puts against that put to just lower the overall cost, or just hold on to it as a protection between now and then, more or less as a just in case. But again, I'm not going to be bearish specifically at all unless we close below the low of today. So until we close below the low of today, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, just stay bullish. Diane says, I snagged 1.2 Rs on the little dip on SPY today. Nice job, Diane. There we go. Falco says, I feel like this is a really most bullish day on the SPY in a while. Percentage-wise, we did better on this day. That was just a week ago. What was that? March 11th. So percentage-wise, we did better on March 11th. We were very bullish on January 30th. Really great gap on February 12th. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously it was a good day, but it looks like it's good to go. So again, I'm not going to specifically be bearish unless we close below the low of this candle. Bob says, when are you leaving? The official date that I'm leaving is, I am pretty sure, April 4th that night. So April 5th, I fly out to Athens, Greece. So we have a decent amount of time between now and then. And again, I do think we're going to go a little bit higher. I just like the overall trend. And this covered call at 300, even though it is for June, which is pretty far away. Look where it's at. I mean, it's well above the all-time high. It's at that nice, even round number of 300. And my thought is from here is if we really do get up there, which at this point is very possible, I mean, we'd have to pull back at some point, a little bit, something like that. So we'll see. And if I get called away at 300, I don't think I'll be that upset about it. So anyway, SPY looking good. The rest of the market, I mean, the Dow Jones today was relatively okay. Bullish engulfing candle. One candle can change everything. So if we have a massive bearish day tomorrow and close below the low of today, then we'll expect some bears. But unless that happens, this pink line on the Dow Jones ETF is a big resistance that a few chartists are looking at. And again, we break above there, should be good to go. Here's the Qs, and the Qs were just straight up rampaging today. Rampage Jackson. Denzel Frothington, the Bulls, just continuing higher. Expect those to make a new all-time high soon, I think. And then the IWM, it's up 1.13%, kind of double bottomed, good volume, good close, so I expect that to go higher as well. Jill says, is that the honeymoon? No, not yet. I think the honeymoon we have planned for Bariloche, Argentina in 2020. That's the current plan. Right now, this is just going to be Ashley, myself, and 4 other friends are flying to Greece, and we are renting a boat, and we are sailing the Mediterranean Sea for about a week. So that's going to be pretty fired up. That's something I've always wanted to do that I've never done, and it's going to be happening in just 2 weeks down the road. So, yes, I'm pumped. So trying to get me trading hours in between now and then. That's the whole broader market. It looks great. Looks good. All right, first on the list, Canadian Solar, CSIQ. Why am I looking at Canadian Solar? One of the few stocks that was down today, and Robert Falco, I don't know how you didn't short this one with me, man. This was such an easy short. CSIQ, gap down, gorgeous move, gorgeous gap and go. This is perfect. A bearish trade that worked. This was our official setup on CSIQ. Pretty much it's still on the screen, 2063 by 2163. And I should have done it a little bit more aggressively, or potentially I realistically should have shorted here. If you're wondering why I should have shorted the pink line, let me show you. This was a little bit of a support resistance. And you had, this really, really big bullish, like weird lower shadow thing was here. So it broke below that, it retested that. So I should have been short 21 by 22 or 21.75 or something. That's how Mikey played Canadian Solar. He played it much better than I did. But this first 3-minute candle came in. That was it. Once that came in, entry there. Stop was a little bit aggressive. Sorry, a little conservative, I think. I'm so not used to a trade actually going down. That's the thing. That's why I was like, wow, this thing's actually going lower. Crazy. So anyway, Canadian Solar did exit a little bit on the early side. But again, this blue arrow got out right about here. It would have actually hit 1R and maybe a little bit more. We would have gotten out for about an R down here if I had held. But again, a good trade. Certainly happy that we played it. Gave a few people some frequent trader points for beating me on Canadian Solar, and gave Stephen King 1 frequent trader point for finding it for me. Just a great gap. Gorgeous move. Everything about that is perfection in a bottle, and I loved it. So from here, we actually could get a little bit of a continuation lower. Probably could trade down into the 100 simple. You're welcome to keep your eyes on Canadian Solar to continue lower. This is a 15-minute chart, and it posts a little bit of some buying kind of last minute. So if CSIQ hangs out, trades sideways a little bit, and then breaks down, I'm not saying it's going to go to 0. I'm just saying that very strong bearish gap today, perfect gap and go. Everything was perfect on it. Let it trade down into the 100, and that's pretty much it. Okay. And again, if we want to talk about just the sentiment of this, remember the market, had gapped down very little bit at open and was starting to run bullish. Most of the market was bullish. Most of the market was up. This was one of the few things that was down this morning. So anyone who was in shares was like, what the heck? Why is the market going up and this is going down? This is dumb. So they started selling it, and yeah, that was kind of the sentiment. That's exactly what we did on FTCH. So let's go look at that really quick. So FTCH, this is a bullish trade. And while the market's been just absolutely on a rampage, this has been doing jack squat. So Farfetch Limited, FTCH, I did get out today. Just pretty much pulled the ripcord. This was the note, so I wasn't exiting early. I mean, the note was if it's not profitable by the end of the week, and it wasn't profitable. And this is the end of the week. So you had tons of bullish volume yesterday. You had some bullish volume today. I'm not saying it can't go higher. I'm just saying it's better to take that R, remove it, just lock in a loss, and continue on from here. So I'm out on Farfetch. We can come back to it later and see if maybe it pulls back at some point a little bit lower, but I am out of that particular swing trade. So FTCH, EA really did us dirty. Really did us dirty. So I guess I should have my stop below the 50 EMA. I mean, looking at it here and looking at it here, it almost hit the 50 and bounce. So I guess I have my stop a little too aggressive, and sorry about that. I thought it was in the right spot, and I guess it was not. So EA, big, nice, bullish candle today. Realistically, we would have only been up about an R anyway, which, I mean, that would have been great. So I guess should have had an entry here and a stop loss here, and probably would have just exited all of it at the high of that candle, because most likely this is going to retrace. So we might be able to catch it again, possibly, if it pulls back, and this time I won't make that mistake twice. So we'll see. If it just because it stopped, it definitely wicked us out, whipsawed us out, stopped us out, and then bounced. So if it's going to do that once, might try that again. And we'll keep an eye on it. We'll look at it again tomorrow. So let me look at Friday's list. Friday, EA. Okay. Just as a, maybe. As a maybe. iRobot, this is the one that we set up yesterday. Set up a bearish trade, actually, and it did not go down. The interesting thing, though, is I probably will short iRobot at another time, but I'm going to cancel this exact setup and wait for another one. So very, very similar to over here when I was looking at like how it bounced off the 20. Bob was absolutely 100% correct. It just traded down to the 20 and bounced. So maybe it does that, trades back down, trades back up, and forms a pattern like this and eventually breaks lower. It by no means has to, but the only reason I was looking at it was because that big one black crow on iRobot. The good news is we didn't get triggered in, you know, so cool, I guess. We'll just cancel that trade and move on. So nice little trend. Could have day traded it bullish, I guess, today as well, but most of the market was just really, really, really strong. All right, so come over here. Swing trade. Give me 20 seconds, let that load. I guess I'll just cancel that in a second. But anyway, that's iRobot. That's that update. And that's what that is doing. Here's FCAU, Fiat Chrysler Automobile. And Fiat had itself a very cute little bounce the last 2 or 3 days. I think Mark was the one that played that nice and bullish. Mike says, how do I access the trade journal? You should have access to it in your welcome packet that was emailed to you, Mike. But it's right here in the chat pane, sir. Just click that link that's in the chat pane, the exact same place you type that question into, and you will get access to it. So Fiat Chrysler, Mark played this one for, I think, an R, cheeky little R. Here's the weekly chart, and it still could be bouncing. That's what's interesting. Here's the long-term moving averages, and we're very sideways presently. Here's the monthly chart. What moving average is that on? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm still in the same boat. If you're looking at playing Fiat Chrysler, I would be looking for a bullish trade. This is actually probably not a really bad spot at all to kind of buy low, sell high, pick some up. Let me text my boy Adam. You might like Fiat Chrysler automobiles down here. Okay, so that's FCAU. Alaska Airlines, ALK. So Alaska, this was a bullish swing trade setup that I was keeping an eye on that we looked at on Tuesday. And here's the hourly chart. So the hourly chart, I was looking at it again on Tuesday, want to go higher. It just never did. And I think this is probably the most bearish candle, but I'd kind of like to get in a little bit lower. Let me go look at this on the daily chart yet. Mike. Email albert@reallifetrading.com and CC me, Mike. Jeremy@reallifetrading.com. Brad's in some shares at 55. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. This is the weekly. Is there a long-term average or something down here that I liked? Monthly chart. Yeah, 100 is not far. It just looks like a buy low, sell high spot. It looks like it's breaking some lows. I mean, absolutely. I'm gonna say this in the most nice way possible. Just nailed Southwest analysis. So we looked at Southwest yesterday, and the analysis verbatim was watch for the bounce. There's no need to be bearish here. And that thing just opened and ran. Use your 5-minute chart and just, I mean, I didn't even have time to catch this. So, bam, just solid pop on Southwest. Again, that was the analysis from yesterday. I was just saying, hey, if you're at this support, I wouldn't be bearish. It looks like some of the airlines are trying to press a little bit higher. And again, Southwest is at a good spot for like a long-term position. So long-term position on Southwest, the 200 simple is down here. I don't necessarily love it as a short-term swing, but on a long-term scale, it does look pretty. So anyway, so back to Alaska Airlines. I guess what I'll do is I'll put on the list. Let's give it one more day because it looks like we probably need to take out the high of this bearish candle. So let me come back to this one tomorrow and just keep an eye on it. Okay. So staying with the airline theme, the reason I'm pulling up Boeing is because we had one trader who had a put sale on it at 300, and that trader has bought back that put sale. So congrats, Mr. Robert Falco, for a good gain. And he will be looking at doing that again, selling some puts on Boeing. He had a little bit of a down day today, actually, on Boeing. And as strong as the market is, Boeing looks like it could have a little bit of a drop. Again, I would love to see a drop into 360. That would be so nice on Boeing. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if it does, I'm ready to buy. Like if it does this, makes that S-curve, makes that new low, everyone really starts freaking out. Boeing's going to zero. Then I will look to buy. That's pretty much all I got, though, on Boeing at this exact moment in time. Daniel says Boeing has a triangle, does it not? I wouldn't call it a triangle. I'd call it some type of pennant pattern. It's a little too small to be a triangle. If you're doing on an hourly chart, then yes, it has a little bit of a triangle in an hourly. Daily chart's more of a pennant consolidation type of pattern. But again, the name's irrelevant, Daniel. I know what you mean. We could call this the mashed potato bowl. So yes, it has a little bit of a pattern like that. So realistically, breaks down, I'll go long, or if it breaks out of here, go long. Boeing is just only going to be a bullish trade. Okay, Solo, Han Solo fighting the Darth Sith. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if that's the right term. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Solo continuing higher, had that cute gap yesterday and continued to have another 14% today. I did not trade this. There's just too much out there today, but just a cute little continuation. One that we could at least keep our eyes on, continue to watch it as again, just in case the trend looks relatively okay. And kind of one of those things to pop in and pop out of, maybe for a small position. I'd love to see a bigger retest on this. So when we get that, I'll look to buy that dip. So Solo, keep an eye on that. Okay. Give me 3 seconds. Let me cancel iRobot. Let's go look at AMD really quick. AMD, that was a tough one. That's a tough loss. By tough loss, I mean that's a tough miss. It's a real tough miss. When I was setting up that weekly options newsletter, I didn't exactly know where to get in. And I thought to myself, it's either going to retest the high of this candle and bounce, or it's going to pull down a little bit farther and bounce. And I misjudged it by 20 cents. Oh, man. Brute Magoot. So AMD, beautiful pullback yesterday. I mean, obviously a buy the dip opportunity. Unquestionable. So we set it up. I was ready to rock it. We would already be up 2 hours on this trade in one day. Missed it by about 25 cents. Tough. Had it just about 50 cents higher, we would have been in. But hey, that's what happens when you trade a lot. You're going to miss some of these by just pennies on the dollar very frequently. Oh, man. AMD right now is at 27 and some change. 27.89. Long-term moving averages. I mean, yeah, it's every time we've been looking at it, we've been bullish. Look at that pullback on the 8th of March, right down to the 100, right down to that gap. Whew. Saucy. Yeah, I mean, we're going to technically leave the weekly options usually are open until Tuesday, but it's not going to fill, so that's okay. The one trade that might help us out looks like it could be CREE. I have high hopes for this thing. It did exactly what you would have wanted it to do today. It closed above the high of that bearish high wave candle. So CREE, we're just going to hold this thing for a little bit. Now, I don't know if I'm going to hold all the way until April or not. It kind of depends on just how good the swing trades look and, you know, if we need to lock in something or all that kind of good stuff. But at this point, it did exactly what we would have – we couldn't ask for anything better, realistically. So if the market continues higher, hopefully CREE does as well. Weekly chart doing its thing, and monthly chart, we have previous resistances for us to run up into. So that's all I got on CREE. ACB. So ACB, again, resting. Had a massive, massive run up, and it's an inside day candle today. Volume is declining, and it's letting those moving averages slowly catch up. So Aurora Cannabis, again, a lot of you are out, and a great job picking tops. A lot of you exit on the 19th of March, which is about as good as you could have done. So just going to let these moving averages, let it pull back into the averages, see how we bounce, if we bounce, and crush it from there. That's all we can do on ACB. Waiting is the hardest part. I get it. I understand. Okay. ACB, got it. Let's go look at KEG. And KEG did put in a nice lower shadow today. I did want one more day of sideways movement, and we got it. Again, I mean, a pullback would be ideal. But, yep, that's going to happen. 3 days in a row of very small movement. And if it breaks above this high, let's just stick with that trend. So today is 3/21/2019 KEG 608 by 506. I think it's a good trade based on a retest gap, open because it's not triggered yet. And we will throw that in there right there. New official swing trade. Okay. So again, volume on this looks really nice. Gorgeous breakout over here. Nice run up. We've consolidated. We've traded sideways. And again, this is the weekly chart. So the longer it trades sideways, the better at this point. All right. That's KEG. We have a few other swing trades that we can go look at. And believe it or not, these two are, we have a bearish trade here and a bearish trade here. And they weren't terrible today. So Hanes brands were still, for the most part, just trading sideways. So it's an inside day candle today. You're still getting held up by the 200. And I think it might be a matter of time before that breaks down. Because if the market does have a quote-unquote pullback or a actual red day in the markets, that could break lower and slowly creep down some more, maybe. So I don't think we're going to get absolutely wrecked on the trade by any specific imagination because we can't lose more than 70 cents on this put. And then OLLI's bargain outlet threw in another upper shadow, and the volume declined even more than it did yesterday. So you have this big bearish candle, and you have two small candles with declining volume. Moving averages are still bearish. Our stop is still above all of them, and I'm still just waiting for that as well. So what I might do on that is if the next day or week, whatever, if Hanes Brands and OLLI's both are profitable on the same day, I might just exit both of those bearish positions for, I don't know, 0.2 Rs or something. Really, really small gain just to get out of them and move on to something else. If that happens. I don't know if it does or not, but right now, again, I'm not afraid of having a bearish position out there, even though the market is bullish. As bullish as the market is, it's still not a bad idea to have at least a bearish trade out there every so often. And it can, even if it's just a day trade, you know. So right now, that's what I got on OLLI and HBI. Let's go check out HUYA, HUYA. And this is the analysis that I looked at yesterday, was getting in above there with a stop below there. I'm not in that particular trade, but if you are, congrats, I guess. Hope it works. And if you're not and you want to be in, I would just say do a limit buy and see if you can snag getting in on a pullback a little bit. But the hourly chart looks good. Daily chart looks good. Trend looks good. It's not bearish. And if you're looking at playing HUYA long, you most likely are in. Hope she runs. Okay. Next on the list, it is Transportation Thursday after all. And here's Tesla. Cute little candle today, trying to make a morning star pattern. So this is a morning star right there. And we did break that high. So very, very small little candle. Tesla right now just hanging out. And again, it does look a little dip buyable down here as you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bearish candles in a row on a weekly chart. Last time that happened was, I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's going to bounce soon, guys. I think we're going to be bouncing soon on Tesla. A lot of people have some put sales. Niels has a Fun Iron Condor expiring worthless tomorrow. So congrats, Niels. We give him a little shout out. Congrats, Niels, on your Tesla Condor. Tons of puts expiring tomorrow. Okay. And Thomas got this 185, got the 165. A few other traders have, 240 put sales. And that's about it. So again, 240, it's still 30 points away, 34 points away. And I know April is, a ways away. I get that. By the way, the U.S. markets are closed on April 19th. So I'll give you my vacation schedule really quick. So I'll be in Greece from the 5th of May to pretty much the 14th of May, and we come back, I think, on the 15th, which is tax day. And then the U.S. markets are closed for Good Friday on the 19th. So all option expirations will be on the 18th for April. Just something to keep in mind. So it'll be a little short. It'll be a pretty short week for me. So I come back I'll be in the room on the 17th, the 18th, the 16th afternoon. And yeah, should be about it. Amity says, thanks for the heads up. My pleasure. Okay, so again, cool. Tesla hanging out. Next on the list, straight up surge monster Netflix. 421. Here we go, I guess. Don't be bearish on Netflix. Buy whatever dip comes in and only be bullish for a while. My only regret is not getting into a bull put spread on this day, and I just think I had too much going on the 8th. There's just so many buying opportunities on that day. So, yep. Netflix for long looks clean. Here's the hourly chart. Hourly chart on Netflix. I mean, again, a dip. Keyword if it pulled back to 369, looks pretty viable. I mean, right now when you play Netflix, and you're gonna have some pretty wide stops, most likely. You're gonna have some wide stops, but that looks good to me. No, if it breaks the low of today was really the retest. Yeah, today was the retest. So if it breaks the low of that retest, it's gonna go a little bit lower. So realistically, I would just say just keep an eye on this one and continue higher. I mean, it could hang out, trade sideways for a little bit tomorrow, but if it gaps up or starts to run, get in. Chief says, proud of my little girl. Man, me too. Chief's got his daughter trading, selling derivatives. Selling uncovered derivatives. Now she can tell people that she's pretty much a stock market magician. You know, I think I might do that from now on. People ask me what I do. I'm just going to tell them I'm a stock market magician. What does that do? What does that mean? You know how magicians pull rabbits out of hats? I pull money out of my computer. I show up, turn my computer on, press buttons, and make money. Wizard of Wall Street. Oh, you guys are funny. Anyway, awesome stuff, Chief. Looks really good. And keep crushing it. Amazon. So Amazon. Oh, this was what a move. I don't know what to say on Amazon, guys. Whatever dip you want to buy, feel free to buy that dip. This all started on Friday, March 15th. The most beautiful gap I've seen since this gap over here on the 1st of March. And then the gap on the 8th of March. I should have kept my shares. How many shares did I buy on that day? I think I bought like 20 shares on that day for a day trade. 22 shares, something like that. Should have kept one or two, man. Dang, even just one. It's like that's $200 from 1,600 to 1,800. Anyway, Amazon, nice break. I don't know what else to say on Amazon, folks. Buy whatever dip you want. Next target, 2000s. Again. Volume is beautiful. It's all good. Looks great. Thumbs up. If you have shares, keep holding them. Again, a few of you picked up a share or two. We talked about that the other day. Over here, picked up some, 1,400, 1,500. You know, literally like 3, 4, 5 shares. Nothing crazy. Adrian is in some long calls. I love it. What a day trade machine this thing has been, too. Look at this 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart. Just tweeze. Look at this tweezer bottom. Whew. Anyway, look at that compression. Noon o'clock, the thing just goes berserk. Higher lows, lower high. Look at that breakout. Give me a break. I love it. I do love bull markets. I also love bear markets, but we're not going to get one for a while. Anyway, next on the list is Facebook. And Facebook today making a little bit of a higher high and a little bit of a higher low. So again, it did pull into a support. This is the support down here. Same exact price that it bounced before. Same exact price. 21st of February, same exact spot that it bounced once, doing it again. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, you know, it didn't move as much as other things moved today, but it looks pretty strong. Remember the 200 simple? That was a very good support for it today, and that is a good support in general. So if Facebook gaps up again tomorrow, I would just assume that it would continue. So the weekly chart, the 100 simple is a little bit of resistance. I get that. A little bit of resistance there, but at this point, all those moving averages look good. So Facebook, thumbs up for the bulls, most likely at this particular point in time. Oh my gosh, did I almost not have square on here? Let's go look at Marvel. MRVL, this daily chart, volume, great. Bob is in 2001 by 1901. Go get you some, buddy. I mean, you could have told me about that a week ago. Would have been nice. If you would have go back in time after this morning star reversal pattern. Yeah. Look at the volume that came in on the 15th of March. Oh. Woo. Oh, boy. Good looking trend. I wonder if we can be like Bob. I mean, it'd be close, but it wouldn't be the exact same numbers. I can't play it yet because per my plan, I have to wait at least 18 hours, but I can set up tomorrow. So we'll put that up, see if it still looks good for a potential pullback. Maybe we can snag one position or two on Marvel. Looks good. Volume looks good. Everything looks good. Trim looks good. Next on the list is Zillow, ticker symbol Z. And Zillow, been looking at Zillow the last 2 or 3 days. Yesterday, I missed it for a very nice bearish day trade. I have no idea what Zillow's trying to do. I don't know. This chart looks weird. Volume is declining. If I had to guess, and that's really all I do ever, that's a 3, and inside that, so 1, 2, 3. So this is an ugly wave 4. I think it goes down a little bit lower into about 33, 34. And if you're looking at buying it, that's where I would. Let it flash a lower low below this candle and then buy it, because that's where everyone stops is probably going to be. And that's all I've got. Now, it doesn't have to. This could also be the little bottom that's coming in today. So if you were looking at playing it on an hourly chart, I would have to get in above this bearish candle. So I'd have to get in like 36.66 by 34.66. And if that doesn't work, then you could try it down there at 33. That's all I got on Zillow. NTNX. NTNX, storming the castle. My girl Lee sold herself a put, and she bought it back today for a profit. NTNX, beautiful move, gorgeous close, perfect volume that came in on the 7th of March. That would have been the time to get in bullish for a swing trade right here. If you didn't get in there, you would have gotten in on the pullback on the 8th. And if you didn't get in there, you would have gotten in on the pullback on the 12th. That was just a really, really nice move. Gorgeous bounce. Because remember, this was a big, big sell-off that had moved really far into a support. So NTNX hanging out, doing its thing. So good job, Lee, on that put sale. ConAgra, CAG. So this one had a decent day trade, and I did not trade this one at all, although Graham played it for 2 Rs. I missed the long because I was looking for a short. Right here, that's the retest of the 10 EMA. Bunch of morning stars, bunch of reversal patterns. I was watching it the whole time, and my brain only saw short for some reason. It didn't see long. I wouldn't have played it long anyway, to be honest. But entry here, stop right there. I would have had to hold a long time to get an R, but at least Graham got it on the bullish trade. I did not. However, this is one, I talked about this in the morning room. I'm not in this position at all, but some of you are. This is one that I mentioned was a good longer-term buy. Daniel said, somebody said you never short food. I don't. That's why I didn't short it. That is 100% correct. I do not short food. I was just looking at it for a short. I was like watching it. I just never saw the long. I just thought it was going to go down. I was going to watch it for the short trade. Just to, you know, go, oh, cool. What a great short. What I'm trying to get at, Daniel and Bob, is I was an idiot, and I don't know why I didn't go long. That's what I'm trying to say. How did I miss the long? I don't know. But yeah, food, I never short food. I don't know. Well, here's why. I looked back over some of my trades, and I realized 85% of my losing trades was trying to short Campbell's or Kraft Heinz, which is actually ironically good short recently. ConAgra, Dean Foods. Amity says, makes sense. Why not to short food? Yeah, it's food. We're going to eat it. Everyone needs it. Be long food. So anyway, this is the last time I looked at it. Was back on the March 4th. And a dividend food stock long-term is a buy low, sell high. Long-term buy zone on ConAgra. And just a gorgeous little move. So, yep, good gap on earnings. That's all I get. I don't know why I didn't go long. But hey, I definitely did not short it. I didn't do that. So we can all be happy that I did not do that. I didn't break any rules. I just didn't make any money on the long side. Anyway. JD.com. So JD.com, working on breaking out of this little pennant pattern. Volume did come in today. So volume came in. We haven't hit that 20 yet. But if we make I mean, realistically, I was looking at this one yesterday. If we go higher, I think it's just going to keep rocking. Oh, a lot of white candles in a row in an hourly chart. Okay. Okay. That means that we need to break higher and then retest. Drake says, what's your current punishment for breaking your rules? 3 months of no sports, 3 months of no meat, 3 months of no alcohol, and then 3 months of no sugar. And also I have to eat beets, mustard, and Brussels sprouts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 3 days. That's the current punishment. And that's why you have not seen me break any rules, because that sounds pretty terrible, I think. And you all know I'll do it too. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it does this, this. Chief, are you still in JD.com, or have you gotten called away? So I like this. So it would be like a stop of pretty much 28.94. Chief got called away. How was it, man? Was it exciting? Were you pretty pumped? Chief says very. Oh, man. 28.55. Something like this is kind of what I'm thinking. My girl Lee is still in JD. A lot of other people are as well. We're going to keep a very close eye on it for a swing trade. I know my buddy Falco's in some shares with some covered calls. I still think you could buy back those covered calls or just keep holding on to them for a little bit longer. Because, again, getting exercise at 30, I don't think you would cry about it. So let me just keep a very close eye on this. But JD is starting to coil, boys and girls. Starting to coil. Monster Beverages. Chief said he cleared 3.5 Rs total on JD.com. Good job, buddy. I don't know who I need to blame for not telling me about Monster today. I mean, I can't take responsibility for myself. I never saw this thing. You had a gap down from the Elysian Fields of Profit on the 19th, a continuation, and then a breakdown again today. Look at this 5-minute chart. Who didn't tell me about Monster? It can't be my fault. It has to be someone else's fault. But look at this breakdown. Breakdown, retest, and then it did it again over here. I would have shorted that with my eyes closed. Drake was sleeping. Oh, Drake. Anyway, I mean, just kind of continue down today. So it's in a channel, as you can see. I like it a little bit lower. 51.86 would be preferential. If they can get down there. It might not, but that's this retest gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the screen and come back to Monster on Monday and see if we can get a pullback or something. Because again, I don't mind having some shorts out there. A short swing trade or something. Okay. Next on the list, we have I don't know what to say on Apple, folks. So I got out of the covered call yesterday, obviously for a loss, but made it back today in the share gain. So Victor, if and when you buy back this covered call, let me know. And if you don't, and you get called away at 195, I think you're gonna make a very good gain. So that's nothing to really sneeze about. I had about 100 people ask me what Apple was going to do over the next week. Guys, I don't know. I mean, I don't really see why it's going to slow down. I mean, I know at some point it has to. I get that. But today's gap was perfect. And the thing is, I couldn't have caught it. It would have had to been on a 1-minute chart. And I back trade Apple already 3 times today, and I missed it every time. I mean, realistically, I don't go long there by there. I never do that on a 1-minute play. So with this bearish candle coming in, I mean, I try to go long above there, but I want to do a limit buy. So I did a limit buy on those. I keep missing it, even on a back trade, even knowing what it did. It was a phenomenal gap, though. Bunch of upgrades. Apple is back on top of the market cap leader. Yeah, team. I really don't know. I mean, it could retest a little bit tomorrow, but you all know I've been mentioning ever since this gap over here, I've been talking about be bullish on Apple. Don't be bearish. Even if you bought 10 shares, 20 shares, 15 shares, one call option, something. So yes, we're definitely going to pull back to some degree, but it's a buyable dip. And that's all I got. Lee says, is it because they hear that you like Apple Pay? That is, it has to be one of the reasons. I've used it 5 times since then. I'm serious. It's so good. If I walk into a store that has Apple Pay, I'm like, oh, bro, thank you for saving me 23 seconds. I don't have to do anything. I already got my phone. Amity still hasn't used it. It's the greatest thing. If you ever see an Apple Pay, oh, man. The best part is, though, a lot of you took that message to heart. I mean, that's when I was talking about it over here. Apple and Square both have been really running up nicely and pretty. Here's 2 left. So Nike today, excuse me, Nike is gapping down to 84.10. How is Blake going to play Nike tomorrow? He's going to have to go long, right? Oh, Nike's going to be tough to long tomorrow, though. That's a pretty nice gap. Whoo! Good luck, Blake. I know he's going to want to long it. Yeah, I mean, it's a gap down. Let me go look at the last bearish gap and go that it had on earnings. Over here. No, it wasn't over there. Wasn't that one. Wasn't that one. It was this one. So the last bearish gap and go on December 22nd, gap down and then just popped strongly. So I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but if you want to play Nike, make sure you back trade December 22nd. That's all I can say. Angela said she made 1 R on Nike today. Nice. There you go. There you go. Nice little trend, good little gap. So yeah, definitely a gap down, no question there. I had a lot of people ask me about the Levi Strauss IPO. I think it's the stupidest IPO I've seen in a very long time. I'll talk about that on Monday. I'm not going to buy that probably ever. All right, last on the list is Square. And Square today, someone get them a handbrake. The volume on Square today is insane. Folks, man, I can't wait for Square to hit 100 again. We're all going to make so much money on Square. Be long Square, folks. I love the company. It's my favorite company. Every time anyone asks me, I just go Square. Be bullish. Put sales galore, long-term shares. Love this candle. Buy the dip. I totally missed Square today this morning. Verbatim, this is what I said before market open. Before market open, I said, man, this pre-market looks pretty interesting. I should probably get in bullish there, the stop loss right there. And I did not. Anyway, so Square, you know, it's doing what Square does. Falco said, should we buy Lyft tomorrow? Is Lyft IPOing tomorrow? LYFT? Ooh. LYFT. Probably not, but maybe. I'm going to be on the slopes all day tomorrow. Let me look into that. Lyft. That should be interesting. All right, boys and girls, that's it for me. I'm out. Tomorrow is Finance Friday. I'll be back for tomorrow. What do you want to look at? I got FTCH, First Solar, QTT, Tesla, Coke, Apple, BABA, HEAR, PayPal. Clive says on a ski lift tomorrow. What a pun. Ah, thank you. Disney, JLL, Altria, MGN, ZYNE. Gas is going to keep fading, so be long that thing. EA, Alaskan Airlines, Marvel, LYFT maybe, JD.com again, HUYA again. All right. I'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Let's keep crushing it, folks. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.